What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the farm. I am getting ready to run across town to go place and pick up my fish order. We are going to be stocking the lower pond today. So there is actually a fish hatchery here local in Cincinnati. They're called Jones Lake Management. They're a fish hatchery and they do basically like full service lake stuff. They'll come and deal with any like aquatic plant issues. They do consulting. They'll come and do the work for you. Anyways, but they're like a full service lake outfit. So I am going to run across town. Hopefully I will be able to shoot some video when I'm there. Won't know till I get there, but hopefully get some cool footage of what's going on over there. And then when we get back here to the farm, we'll take everybody down the hill and we will get them loaded into the pond. Everybody there was very nice, and they said it was okay for me to shoot some video, but none of them wanted to be on video, which I understood. But there were probably about 24 little ponds and lakes this size where they hatch the fish, and then they harvest those, and they come into their showroom here. And these are probably 250, 300-gallon-ish poly stock tanks that they had each of the fish varieties in. And for each of the fish varieties, they had multiple sizes available also. So like these grass carp, they had some over 12-inch and under 12-inch available. This was the biggest size of the largemouth. And it sort of depended by variety. Some they sold by the pound, and some they sold by the unit. A wide shot of their showroom here. So you can see there the hybrid bluegills, they sell by the unit. And then here, the feeder fish, these are golden shiner minnows, they sold these by the pound. But overall, it was a really cool place. They were great people to deal with. Made it back to the farm, pulled down here to the pond. We'll get everything unloaded and then we'll talk a little bit about what we picked up. All right, of course it's starting to rain, so we'll try to talk fast so we can get this done. But so here's all of the fish. So they use some tanked oxygen, and they fill the bags after they got the little bit of water in them for the fish. They fill the rest up with straight oxygen. Those carp are really moving around. But this is what we picked up. We got 8 pounds of golden shiners, 10 pounds of fathead minnows, 80 red ear sunfish, 80 hybrid bluegills, 175 regular bluegills, and 4 grass carp. 3 are gonna go in here. And then something ate the carp out of the upper pond. I found it drug up on the shore last year in the fall, so probably a raccoon or something. Not a lot of it was eaten, but something pulled it up out of the water. So if you know what that might have been, tell me. I think it was probably a raccoon. So since it is nice and cool this morning, early afternoon, they told me I don't need to worry about doing any acclimating. If it was warmer out, I would need to take these bags and float them in the pond for 10 to 20 minutes, depending on temperature. But they said since it is only about 50 degrees today, I don't really need to worry about that. They said just get them home and let them loose into the pond. I believe this is red ear sunfish. So this is half of them. They did divide up the sunfish, the 3 different sunfish varieties. Probably for oxygen reasons. They asked me how far away I lived, and then they based that off of how far away I lived, how many they put in each bag. Here we have fathead minnows. They told me the minnows are really big right now because they're not really into their peak sales season yet. So the minnows are actually able to get some size on them. So once summer hits and they really start selling them, they don't ever really have an opportunity to grow very big before they have to sell them. All right, everybody's in. I have one grass carp and maybe a pound or two of golden shiners in that bucket that we're gonna take up to the other pond. And I don't see but maybe one, two floating dead fish right now. And they're both minnows. So that's great news. I will, depending on what this rain does, whether it's later today or sometime this weekend, I will come down and walk the shores and hopefully get some on video, show you guys them kind of spread out around the pond. You know, hopefully we'll see the grass carp up feeding at the edges, see the minnows and stuff in the shallows. We'll see what this rain's gonna do, whether or not it'll be this afternoon or not, but I'm really happy with that. Real smooth, and like I said, I don't see but I think 3 dead fish, which is very reassuring. So we might as well talk a little bit of numbers. So between the red ear sunfish, the hybrid bluegill, and the bluegill sunfish, and the grass carp, we bought about 350 fish. We did 18 pounds of feeder fish, we did 10 pounds of fathead minnows, and we did 8 pounds of golden shiner minnows. That came out to right at about $875. The grass carp, when you buy grass carp, they come sterile because grass carp are an invasive fish. I believe there's some kind of Asian carp. They're not the jumping type, thank goodness, but so when you buy those at a place like this, they come sterile because they do not want them, they will take over your pond. So we did the 3 of those down below and the one in the upper pond, like I talked about already. And we did not do any game fish yet. So we did not do any largemouth bass, any smallmouth bass, any striped bass. We were going to do catfish, but I spoke with the biologist that was there, and she told me with what we were trying to accomplish by establishing these more of like feeder fish type populations, the minnows, the bluegill, and the sunfish, that the catfish, while they are beneficial in being bottom feeders, they do help keep your pond clean. They are also a predatory fish, and that would outweigh the amount of fish that they would eat would outweigh the beneficial cleanup that they would do, was what she kind of explained to me. So we had planned on doing catfish at this point, but thanks to her professional guidance, she kind of steered us away from doing that. And I don't know that I ever plan on doing any type of bass in that lower pond. I do have bass stocked in the small upper pond. I have largemouth and I have striped bass. So that is more of my fishing pond, and the bottom pond will probably end up being a little bit more of our recreation pond. So to keep those smaller fish numbers up, we're just, especially for this year, we'll address it again next year. We'll decide what we're going to do, but we are not adding any predatory fish at this point. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that quick little video on getting our pond stocked down here at the lower pond. And we also did contribute to the upper pond as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you have any questions about any of the decisions that I made, or any input onto future decisions that I should make on what you guys think maybe should end up in the pond. I know this wasn't as cool. I'm not Bama Bass. I don't have whatever money he makes to sink into his sweet little pond, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, think about hitting that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until next time, y'all, we will see you.